Hi guys, my name is Lee and currently I'm a member of Writing and Presentation Skills class. Well, today I would like to present about the methods that I applied to do my research paper regarding the topic Starbucks versus Highlands. Who is the winner? Well, this research aims to investigate customer purchasing decisions on the two famous coffee shops in Da Nang City, Vietnam. Well, as you may know, for decades, Vietnam's socio-economic textile has been deeply intertwined with coffee. In Vietnam, coffee is far more than simply a beverage. It is a lifestyle. Therefore, omnipresent coffee shops have been opened in the country, including Da Nang City, which is the third biggest city in Vietnam. And as a matter of fact, Highlands Coffee and Starbucks Coffee are two of the market's most prominent franchises. Highlands Coffee is a Vietnamese-American-owned franchise which first launched in 2000 in Vietnam, but it wasn't until the beginning of 2009 that a store on Bạch Đằng Street in Da Nang City was successfully opened. In contrast, its component, Starbucks, which is located on the same street, did not open until 9 years later in 2018. As you guys can see on the slide, well, there are 4 main steps in my research process. The first one is brainstorming, and the second one is conducting survey. The third one is analyzing, and the last step is to write the paper. To begin with, brainstorming here means that I have to decide about the topic that I'm gonna work on by choosing the options of study. In this case, I chose Starbucks and Highlands Coffee in Da Nang, Vietnam. And then I have to identify potential similarities and differences for the two options, since they are both, coffee shops and they have some criteria in common, like location and stuff. I decided to work on the survey with location, space, drink quality, drink price, and so on. Moving to the next step, conducting survey. Well, first, I identify the questions to examine customers' behaviors included in the survey. And in my survey, there are 5 questions being asked. The first one is about the frequency of the customers going to the coffee shops in Da Nang City. And the second one is about the factors that customers usually consider and they usually notice when they decide to go to a coffee shop. And the third one is about the preference between the two coffee shops, which are Starbucks and Highlands, from the customers. And the last one is about the reason why they pick one over another. And then I created a survey form and asked targeted customers to fill in the form. Well, in my survey, I target the customers who are coffee-going lovers in Da Nang City, my hometown, and who are aware of the existence of Starbucks and Highlands, and maybe usually go there. And after asking those potential customers, I finally collected the survey results. And after collecting it, I realized that the winner here is Starbucks. And then let's move to the next step. It is to analyze by comparing the results between the two options, Starbucks and Highlands. Which one gets more customers' votes? And then I decide the most fascinate factors in the emphatic order. And then I realized that towards the emphatic orders, those factors are space, drink quality, and then service. Well, as you can see, the finishing step is to write a research paper. And in this step, I used the survey result with the 3 reasons mentioned above to explain why the customers' behaviors of picking Starbucks over Highlands. And I also collected photos as the references for the paper. These are those photos that I've been collecting. I came to after I received the result from the survey, I myself came to those coffee shop to, take some photo as like a documentary. And then through the survey, it can be seen that three main factors that affect customer decisions are space with 72%, drink quality with 68%, and service with 40%. Well, as you may see from the appendix, location is also a huge factor as well, with 52%. However, since the two are located on the same street and they are pretty near to each other, they share the same view whenever customer visits these two, and also it's very convenient, and just like the location and the view are kind of similar. So this factor is more like their similarity. That's why it does not really have a great impact on whether customers choose to go to Starbucks or Highlands instead of the other one. Especially according to this survey's questions response, I discovered a fact that really, really surprised me though. That is, according to it, it turns out that Vietnamese purchasers are not bothered by the price too much, as long as the other factors, which are location, space, drink quality, and services, are satisfied, despite the fact that Vietnam is still a low-income developing country. So, moving to the next slide, the questions answers that I cited the most in my paper are the reasons for choosing one over another, reading and finding out the most common reasons that drive people's purchasing decisions. And then I came to the inference that the main difference is that whether it comes to space or drink quality or service, Highlands is kind of like more Vietnamese than Starbucks. Well, it makes sense though, because Highlands is founded by a Vietnamese American owner, whereas Starbucks is like an international franchise. So Starbucks usually follows the international standards instead. However, as you can see more clearly in the next slide, you can see those pictures. As you can see about the space, it is really apparent that Starbucks has more space compared to Highlands. Highlands aims to create a cozy vibe. It's really Vietnamese though, because even their slogan is like proudly born from the Viet's land. So they try to do everything in a Vietnamese way. Even their drink quality, as you can look at the menu, comparing to the Starbucks one. The Starbucks, they have a variety of menu options with very, very good flavors. That's why customers tend to choose it for the drink quality. However, in Highlands, they don't have many options for the customer to choose. And even if they do, they can see, as you can see, the menu here, I will translate it. It's most of them are tea, besides coffee, tea. But the tea here is kind of a little bit bitter. However, the customers go into these places that I did the survey, they are mostly students. So they don't really prefer the bitterness from the tea. It's kind of very in an old way, a Vietnamese way. So at the end, Starbucks knocked down Highlands Coffee. You guys can have a more specific look at these photos, which show the distinctions between the two stores in terms of drink quality, space, and service. As a matter of fact, Vietnamese people will live in Vietnam. That's why the customers, they don't really need the Vietnamese vibe, which is kind of ubiquitous. They can get it everywhere in other coffee shops as well. That's why they prefer go into Starbucks instead, because they want to enjoy the luxurious vibe. And from the survey's result, it is also said that Starbucks is really suitable and it has a perfect environment for studying or working. And because of COVID-19 as well, people prefer to studying and working online. That's why they chose to go to Starbucks a lot. Well, so this is the end of my presentation, and thanks for your listening.